one of the things that's really struck me through this whole project, and one of the things that I see underlying an awful lot of what people say, is that there's a conflict between the way the community sees the community and the way the government and the council act. The council, I don't want to get into council bashing because I think they do the best job they can, but nonetheless the council are acting from a way of looking at the world which measures things pretty much exclusively in pounds and pence. But there's a social element that is never taken into account here. One of the symbols of this to me was Bailey Park swimming pool. Bailey Park swimming pool was mentioned constantly in virtually every one of the 60 interviews we did. Someone said something about Bailey Park swimming pool. And I don't want to argue that the pool should have been opened or closed. But what I want to say is that that pool provided a lot of things. It provided us a place for people to go all day, take their kids, to meet other people, to have their kids play in safety. And when the pool was closed, it was closed on economic grounds. And all these social elements had to then be funded in some other different way. But the social elements were never considered when they thought about the pool. Too much at the town council level, there's too much aping of what goes on in national politics. The town council it's not really a place for sectarian politics, in my opinion. The community is made up of a lot of different interests. And all these different interests benefit each other. Community is an organic, in our opinion, is an organic entity. The health of the high street creates jobs. The jobs create more health for the high street. It creates more jobs create an environment that is safer for everybody. It goes round and round in a really positive circle. You can't, when you walk around going, older people, young people, high streets, safety, these issues are all, at the communal level, they are all intricately related. And the health of one is the health of another. And yet there's a managerial philosophy and that insists that these things be thought of only in terms of money. Now, of course, there is an issue about money. No one denies that. But there's other issues too. And one of the things that we find is that by concentrating entirely upon money, in fact, money is being lost. Things are being done inefficiently. Things are being destroyed and then having to be duplicated with costly services when they were there in the first place. There needs to be a more appropriate balance between communal needs, social needs, and the cost of these things. Sometimes community is enhanced by putting five seats in the mall where people can sit there and talk to each other. And that is more productive of communal feeling and communal beingness than building a big project. When the town councils in this country have had their power progressively stripped from them over a large, long period. People don't understand the degree to which the town council itself doesn't control many aspects of town life. The only power the town council has is the power to connect with the community that it represents. But that requires that the people themselves empower the town council, and the town council listen and work with the people. And that is the way for town councils in the future to have some power and have some influence and have some sway. Not to follow narrow sectarian interests, but to see the community as an organic whole in which the parts are connected to each other. People have spoken about this all night. Hubs, spokes, as Valerie said. I don't want this meeting to be simply about deprivation or curing deprivation. Of course that's really important. Nobody denies that. That influences how the crime, the safety that we feel on our own streets. It influences everything. but it's about the whole community. And the whole community is about people feeling some trust, some sense of place and some sense of belonging. And for that to happen, the Town Council, not just here, but everywhere all over Britain, needs to move away from this really narrow, rigid, managerial, inefficient managerial way of looking at things, and needs to understand things in a social context.